What is in the water at Arsenal? Because life is very good at the Emirates right now. But why? The answer is Gabriel Jesus. We ask the question, what the heaven is happening to Gabriel Jesus? There's no doubt about it. Jesus is in a rich vein of form. But more than that, he appears to be a player transformed. Eyebrows were raised when he made the summer £45 million switch to Arsenal. But in just 3 games for the Gunners, he appears to be a bargain pickup for Mikel Arteta. And he looks like he could finally fulfill his undoubted potential. Let's look further into his situation. The move to City. The truth is that when Man City announced in August 2016 that a young Brazilian striker would be joining the club in January, very few people knew much at all about the mystery wonder kid. As details of the pending transfer came apparent, and the news that City would be paying £27 million became public, a whole lot of Man City fans were doing a whole lot of Googling to find out anything they could about their new mystery man. With a limitless bankroll and a team of megastars, City had grown accustomed to spending big bucks on the world's best players. So little was known about Jesus or his role. What City was getting was a young Brazilian starlet with the world at his feet. He was a 19-year-old forward from Brazilian side Palmeiras and had a record of 28 goals in just 83 senior career appearances. This was not the sort of player that City had typically invested in, tending to favor more established and world-renowned players ready to win. But such was Jesus' pedigree. City were willing to part with nearly $30 million to get the man they thought could be a part of their present and their future. Jesus had a phenomenal record at youth level, and the hope was that if he could fulfill his potential, he might just be the long-term successor to Sergio Aguero. Mixed results. If you were to evaluate Jesus' performance at City based on stats and achievements, you'd be hard-pressed to say he was anything other than a big success. He scored 95 goals in 236 appearances at an average of better than a goal every 2.5 games. He also came away with some great silverware. 4 Premier League titles, an FA Cup, and 3 League Cups is a fantastic haul for any player's career. Jesus collected them in just 5 seasons. But the reality is, that doesn't necessarily tell the whole story. Although he showed flashes of his skill, ability, and undoubted potential, he struggled to ever really convince anyone that he could truly displace Aguero, let alone replace him. He was a skilled finisher that thrived in a successful team that created loads of chances, but he struggled with injuries and fitness. He never really cemented himself as the first-choice selection in a team full of stars. So maybe a change in scenery would help him reach new heights. Sighting for Arsenal. Despite Aguero no longer being around, the club had deemed that Jesus was not the man to replace him. Instead, Erling Haaland was brought in this summer from Borussia Dortmund, leaving Gabriel Jesus surplus to requirements. Meanwhile, at Arsenal, a revolution was underway. A revolution led by Jesus' former coach at City, Mikel Arteta. When you consider that the technical director at Arsenal is former Brazil international Edu, then it becomes easy to see how this move came about. Although there was some surprise at Arsenal's interest in the forward, both Arteta and Edu were convinced that Jesus was the man to fire the Gunners to the next level. With Aubameyang in Barcelona and Lacazette returning to Lyon, Arsenal needed a new number 9. And if the first few games of the new season are anything to go by, it looks like they've got their man. Jesus has started the season like a man possessed, contributing with goals and assists. He's flashed those moments of individual brilliance that only special players can provide. The quality goal versus Leicester, the mazy run versus Bournemouth, and his overall contribution to the team. The most pleasing thing for Arteta and Arsenal is that their new striker is showing a very rare and desirable skill. And that's making the players around him better. Both he and the team have started the new campaign like a house on fire. And if they keep it up, who knows where this season could lead? Although he's had a successful and solid career so far, maybe Manchester City just wasn't the best fit at that time. But now, a few years older and with experience in the bag, Jesus and Arsenal really do appear to be a match made in heaven.